So our first speaker today is MP Kennedy Stewart. For those that don't know Kennedy, he's elected in the riding of Burnaby-Douglas for the NDP and was elected in May 2011. He holds a PhD from the London School of Economics and is the official opposition critic for Science and Technology. He's also a member of the Standing Committee on Industry, Science and Technology. Over the summer, Kennedy worked with researchers and scientists across Canada to illustrate how devastating conservative budget cuts are for Canada's scientific community. Thank you.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. We're on there. There we go. Good afternoon, everyone. A great pleasure to be here today. First, we'd like to thank, of course, the Coast Salish people for allowing us to be here on their land today and to talk about this important issue. Secondly, of course, I'd like to send greetings from Tom Mulcair, who couldn't be here today, but of course, NDP MPs are all across Canada today with the PSAC on this day of action. And Libby Davies is out of the country, of course, the great MP here for Vancouver East, and she also sends her regrets. So I hope I do her proud by representing her here. So what makes a country great? I think what makes a country great are its civil servants. I think that if a nation state does not have a functioning civil service, the country will not work. And I think what we're in danger of here in Canada is destroying a tradition that we've had in Canada for a very long time. I know that people from all around the world come to Canada to look at our civil service and say, how can we build a country like yours? They start with our civil service, and they come and talk to us, and they study us, and they take our practices back to their countries. But now we're hearing around the international community that the world is confused about what's happening here in Canada. They look at the massive layoffs that are happening in our civil service, but not only that, they're looking at how civil servants are being treated. It used to be that the government and civil service, of course, would work together to make Canada a better place, but what we're finding now is that the Harper government is looking at civil servants as the enemy. They're looking at civil servants and saying that they're a detriment to our society, and they're going after us. They're going after you, and I think this is unfair. The NDP thinks it's unfair. And I'll tell you a story about just how seriously we take this. Our late leader, Jack Layton, I had the great privilege of serving with him for a month in Parliament. And the last week of Parliament, of course, we had the Canada Post being locked out. And I had the great privilege of sitting behind Jack Layton as he rose to give what would be his last speech in Parliament. And Jack was shaky. I could see that he had to lean as he made his last speech. But even with that, with him being as ill as he was, he managed to speak for an entire hour about how valuable civil servants are to Canada and how we have to continue to treat civil servants with respect and not to do what Harper is doing to our great civil service here in Canada. So I'm here to tell you, we in the NDP do not think that this is right, what's happening. All of us are speaking up against this. We'll continue to fight for this in Parliament. We will be, really the first week we're back there, starting on Monday, we'll be fighting these cuts, we'll be trying to reverse them, and then we'll be moving forward, looking to be government in 2015, where we can undo all the damage that's been done. So I really congratulate you for being here today, for standing up for not just the civil servants, but also for Canada, because I do think that's what we're doing here today. So thank you very much for having me here today, and I look forward to working with you in the future.
Thank you, Kennedy.